Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the local pundit. We are up and away again. The international break is over. Everybody's getting pumped for the weekend's games. It is Pundit Punts, and we are up and away. I would like to say hello to everybody. 7 people in straight away, getting the notification. So we'll give everybody a little bit of time to come in. I think I've surprised all the boys. I did swap it around. I brought it forward a day. And it made it pretty hard for some of the fellas to get their time clocks and everything organised. So at the moment, I'm flying solo, and that's all good. But the boys have got their tips in, nearly everybody anyway. Hello, Free Pugs. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Nick. Good to see you guys jumping on in as the people start coming into the channel. We are up and away. I do have a bit of controversy today a little bit later on, so we will get into that. But that will be interesting. I think we've got a new hater in the club, and I'm going to out them. But anyway, that's all good. That's all good. We're up and away. Super excited to get back into it. I did watch Australia play New Zealand yesterday afternoon, my time. So it was literally about 15 hours ago. Australia did win, and I got to watch Urun Kunda for the first time in a full game playing for Australia, who plays for Watford. Tell you what, got a free kick on him. Not only that one he scored for Watford, he nearly scored an absolute banger. It hit the corner of the right there and just stayed out. Beat the keeper from a long way out. Like, it's unbelievable. So he's got a bright future ahead of him. He's definitely got a boot on him, and that definitely makes him a dangerous player. So that is something to watch out for when we do come up against Watford. So, yeah, so we are up and away. It is quite interesting. And and Welsh Techie, yes, you have been out and about. Good to see you, Welsh Techie. You've been watching the team play. Would have been close to you at home because you're down that way, I know. So, yeah, so that's exciting for you. What did you think of the team today? I noticed Kiefer Moore didn't play today, so that was interesting. And unfortunately, Wales did go down 1-0 to a goal to Cornelius from Canada, which was interesting. He did score in, I think it was the 41st minute. But it wasn't that good a game by the looks of it. So would be really interesting. Yeah, rubbish game, Welsh Techie saying. So that is interesting, absolutely. But without further ado, don't have any of the boys with me today, so I might get into the games and some of the tips. So, and I'll out myself first. So I'll add this to the screen. Here we go. And I'll get into the games now, doing a little bit of trickery here, obviously, as you can see. So first up this weekend, the early game is Ipswich versus Sheffield United. And I'm really interested in this game for the simple fact that I think that it's going to be a really interesting game. There's so much to play for. Ipswich obviously had an okay start, but to be honest, Sheffield United haven't won a game yet. They've lost every game. So that's very interesting indeed. And so I'm not liking what it looks like for them. So, yeah, but without further ado, let's get into it. So I have picked Ipswich to knock over Sheffield United and for them to continue their losing start to the season, which would be 5 losses on the trot. And I did tip Ipswich to beat Sheffield United 2-1. So, yeah, and then we get into Oxford v Leicester, which is interesting because Leicester, I think, is a team that's going to finish very high up. And for them, it's going to be very interesting. So I have tipped them to get up 1-0 away from home. The next game is one of the newly promoted teams, Charlton, who came up with us and Birmingham through the playoffs. And, yeah, we're up and away. And they are playing Millwall. And, yeah, so anyway, I have tipped them that game. I've tipped Charlton to get up 1-0, Nathan Jones. And on that note, Nathan Jones's number one fan has dropped into the show. Bring yourself in when you're ready. in case you all don't know who their number one fan is, he's going to come in any second now. So let's have a look. I'm just going to bring him in, bugger him. I'm going to add him to the stage. Hey, John.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right. I could have picked a different time to come in, couldn't I? Talking about him and his team.
Mate, your timing was impeccable. Impeccable. So yeah, interestingly enough, I'm revealing all my tips at the moment, and most of the other boys, the only two that haven't got their tips in. So I'm going to be able to get yours live. So we might actually, I'll go back then, because what we might do is reveal mine and put yours in at the same time. So cool. Ipswich and Sheffield United. What do you? Well, actually, how's the international break treated you?
Yeah, good. It's been a bit of a nice break from football, to be honest.
Yep.
I don't really pay too much attention to the England qualifiers because, well, they're boring, to be honest. But we did score some goals tonight, and of course, it was a game I didn't really see, so typical, to be honest. But no, it's just been nice to step away from football for a couple of weeks. So yeah, all ready for Saturday.
Okay. Well, there we go. So yeah, and pump for it to start back up, obviously.
Well, yeah, as long as we win, we'll be all right, yeah.
Well, we'll get to your game in a second because you do have a tough one back from the international break. You've got to go away to Stoke. So we'll get to that in a minute. But Ipswich v Sheffield United, this is an interesting one to kick off the weekend.
I think I'm probably going to say 1-0 Ipswich. I don't see it being a particularly great game because I think both teams are under a bit of pressure. But yeah, I think Ipswich will just sneak it.
Yep, fair enough. 1-0 Ipswich. Well, actually, and while we're there, why don't we just reveal Aaron's? He's tipped the same as you, 1-0 Ipswich. And Paddy has tipped, an absolute banger, 0-0. So, yeah. And there we go. And then Oxford v Leicester. So this is an interesting one away. I think Leicester's obviously a team that should finish well up the table, and they're going to get their points deduction at some point. I don't know when that happens. Do you know when that comes to fruition, when the determination on that happens?
No, but knowing the EFL, it'll probably be later in the season. So I bet you it'll probably be February, March time, to be honest. They don't do anything quickly. So don't expect it this side of Christmas.
No, that's what I was thinking as well. So they want to start banking some points now to get ahead of that. So how do you think they'll go this weekend?
I think they'll win 2-0.
Traveling to Oxford, you think they're going to get up 2-0?
Yeah, they're too strong.
Yeah, I tipped them 1-0. I expect them to win. I was a bit conservative. So yeah, and let's have a look. What's Aaron done? Aaron's done. Oh, same. Look at it. It's like you've just know Aaron's tips in the background here. Wow. And Paddy has got the same tip as me. He's tipped 1-0 Leicester. So, and then this is where you came into the show. Obviously, you knew I was about to talk about Nathan Jones, and you just had to get in here. So, I've tipped him to get up 1-0 here away at home to Millwall.
Yeah, I was really tempted to say that, but it being a bit of a derby as well, I can see that being 1-1. I can see it being a draw, both cancelling each other out. It's not going to be a pretty game, let's be honest.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, I agree with you there. And to be honest, I didn't think Millwall offered much an attack against us in the last game. And
yeah, it'd be interesting because they got that lad Ivanovic there was a bid, wasn't there, on deadline day for him, and it would be interesting if that sort of turned his head a little bit, but he didn't move. So yeah, he's a good player, to be fair. But yeah, like you said, they're not an open attacking team. Neither of these are. So I just see it being cancelling each other out. Well, I'm hoping anyway. So
yeah. And I see there is a comment in here. Who's Normalkin back? Normalkin's always been here. There's just that Aren guy that came in and had something to say during the deadline, during the transfer window. But anyway, let's have a look. What's Aaron done here? Oh, 0-0 for Aaron for Charlton v Millwall. And what has... Oh, okay. Paddy's gone 2-0 Millwall. No, interesting. And we've got some other guy trying to come in. He keeps jumping in and jumping out, but I'm going to just leave it in the background there until he's ready. And then we'll get on to Preston v Middlesbrough. This is an interesting game for me because Middlesbrough, obviously the form team of the early season, travelling away to Preston North End, and they have been playing fairly well themselves, to be honest, in my opinion. And I have tipped a 1-1 draw there. I actually think Preston's going to step up and keep it a draw in this first game after the international break.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I see Middlesbrough sneaking this 1-0. I'll be honest. I just think it'll be a tight game, but I think they'll have too much going forward for them just to sneak it.
Yep. And here we go. Oh, yep. 1-1 for Aaron. And let's have a look at Paddy's tips for the week. Paddy's tipped 2-0 Middlesbrough. He thinks they're the form team and they deserve to win. So, I mean, I can understand that logic. I can understand your logic for Middlesbrough getting up. I just think I'm hoping with the hometown advantage that Preston can eke out a draw. And just on a note for everybody, you've got to have your selection of the tipster you think's going to win the season in the comments of the show to go in the draw to win at the end of the season. All our points as of today are reset to 0. So, like for the season. So now all the tipsters, myself, John, Paddy, Aaron, Victor, and Harry all over, all get reset to 0. We all start from scratch, and you get to pick the tipster that you want to win the season. So, I don't know. What do you think your chances are of winning, beating everybody else, John?
It's luck, really, isn't it? Let's be honest. This is an impossible league to predict most of the time. So,
yep, that's fair. I did laugh that we've been having some private chats because Paddy won it last year, and Aaron's just saying he cheated the whole way. He's cheated. So
that old chestnut, no, it never gets old, does it? Yeah,
no,
I lost, cheated. Yep,
cheated. There was no way he could have beat me. Now, I actually watched the Australia play New Zealand. I was just mentioning this before. Watford, Aaron Kunda, who plays for Watford, and he was in the I'm going to call it the youth Australian team. They were really experimenting, and I tell you what, he nearly scored an absolute banger of a free kick from about 30 yards. So yeah, and it just hit the very corner inside and it looked like it went in, but it didn't. It came back down just outside the line and bounced away. And it was interesting that Australia and New Zealand actually played with VAR in that game, so they're trying to get used to it.
Yeah. Don't get me started on that.
I know. So Watford v Blackburn. So that's an interesting one. I've actually tipped a 2-1 win to Watford this game.
I'm actually going to copy you. I fancy Watford 2-1.
Yep. Okay. Well, let's have a look at the boys. 1-0 for Aaron to Watford, and Paddy's got 2. Oh, there we go. 3 2-1s. Yay. Okay. That's interesting.
I think Blackburn are in trouble this season. I'm not going to lie. I think their transfer business wasn't great either on deadline day.
It was terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, they let a lot of experience go and not got a lot of experience in the other end. So
almost like they just cashed in.
Yeah, very much. I mean, they got Gardner Hickman on loan from us, and he struggles to get on our bench, but it's like they've let a lot of big players go. So it's I think there's a few worried Blackburn fans around.
Yeah. There has been a fair bit of vitriol and hate towards the whole transfer window for them, how it didn't go well, in their opinion. So, I mean, I guess time will tell. And I tend to agree with you. I think I can see them having a bit of a slide. So, we'll see. Well, I'm going to get everybody else's tips up first here for this one because we're on to Stoke v Birmingham. And I have tipped a 2-1 win to Stoke. Yep. And now a lot of people say I'm going against my team, but they're not my team.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm certain. Look, Paddy has gone. Oh, he's also gone 2-1 to Stoke. This is not looking good for you, John. Aaron 2-1 for Stoke. What are you going to do, mate?
I'll go 2-1 the other way.
Okay. Like
We've,
a true
we've actually got a really good record away at Stoke.
Okay.
even when we were rubbish, we always seem to go to Stoke and nick a win. So
you could come up smelling like roses here then in this one if you get this win away. It'll be very interesting.
And Pensfield is back fit, so we're all good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, lots to talk about players coming back from injury out of the break. I'll let you go first this time with Sheffield Wednesday at home to Bristol.
Yeah, I feel for Wednesday. I can only see Bristol winning this one 3-1.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from there. The only team that Sheff Wednesday scored a point against so far this season was Wrexham. and to be fair, that was not our best day.
No.
We did not play well. Yeah.
Yeah, they I'm going to say that was I think they played well, didn't they, Sheffield, in that game against you? But it's I think it's the realization is they don't really have anything other than that starting 11, and the bench is kids, isn't it? So tough season.
Yep. Sean Deasy has said Josh is going to win. Well, Sean, unfortunately for you, Josh is not doing the tips this season, so you might want to pick somebody else because you got no chance of winning if you pick Josh.
And if he did, all he would do is 1-0 every week. So.
Oh, seriously. If he won the footy tipping comp, that's it. I would give away. I would just give it away.
Just put it away. Just that's it. Football's done.
I'm hanging up the boots.
Yep.
So, well, now let's have a look. What's Aaron done? He's tipped 2-1 to Bristol. Paddy has gone 2-0 to Bristol. And I have gone 2-0 to Bristol. So there we go. Doesn't look like it's going to be, according to us, it's going to be a nice weekend for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, 1-0 Sheffield Wednesday incoming then, clearly. So
Yep. So it looks like, guys, if you're wanting to put any money down and gamble responsibly, because we've all tipped Bristol, Sheffield Wednesday's a lot. West Brom v Derby. Here we go. Well, I'll get mine out of the way first here. I have gone 2-0 West Brom. They've really impressed me at the beginning of this season, playing at home out of the break. I really think they're going to show Derby how it's done. Paddy's gone one. He's gone for a 1-1 draw there, so that's interesting. I'm going to be interested to hear your thoughts on this game. Aaron's gone same as me, 2-0, and down to you, John. What's your thoughts on this one?
I think the Baggies they'll win it 2-1. I think Derby have still got a few too many injuries to some of their what they would classify as first team players, and the Baggies at home are strong. So I see them edging it, if I'm honest.
I agree. Well, on to our team. Well, I'll say our team, John. There you go. How's that? Our team for the weekend.
6-0 QPR.
What do you got, mate? What are you thinking? I'll let you go first so you don't see what we've done.
I think you'll win 3-1.
3-1. I love it. Let's have a look at what the boys have done. Aaron, 3-1. Okay. Paddy, 3-0. Clean sheet at the other end for Paddy. And I have gone 2-0. I'd love to see us come out of this one with a really strong win. QPR haven't been great so far this season. It's going to be interesting. I mean, for us, it's about, are we going to find our combinations and gel as a team? When that starts to happen, I think that's when we're really going to start to be dangerous, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, QPR are a funny side. I think they're one of those sides where on any given day they'll beat anyone, but they're equally capable of getting trounced by anyone. They've got some wonderful attacking players, but I've not been convinced by them, to be honest, so far this season.
Fair enough. Yeah, and I totally understand where you come from there, because I'm the same. At the start of the season, I think I tipped them to finish like pretty good, but not like great. But I'd have to go back and remember now. I can't remember, but they've disappointed me so far this season, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. They've got Ilias Chair, he's a favourite player of mine, and there's no doubt about it. If he has an 8 out of 10 performance, no matter who they play, he'll probably win the game on his own because he is that good. I'm just not sure I'm not sure we've seen the best of him so far this season. I'm not even sure if he's been fit either, to be honest. I haven't noticed him on the pitch. So
No, that's a fair call. Well, now we have the other Welsh team, Swansea, at home to Hull. Interesting one, this one. I've gone 1-0 Swansea at home. So, yeah, that's going to be a game. I think they're just going to just scrape over the line, maybe with a late one, in my opinion. I think it's going to sort of just be one of those games that drags out, near the team wanting to lose. And I just think with the hometown advantage, they might get home just at the death. But I'll get the boys' results out there. 2-1 for Paddy for Swansea, and Aaron's gone a 2-2 draw, Desmond. But what's your thoughts on this one, John?
I fancy a 1-1 draw, if I'm honest. I think, I think Hull will score, and I just don't think Swansea have got 2 goals in them against Hull. Just fancy a draw. No,
that's a fair call too. Fair call. So then we have next up Coventry v Norwich. Now, Coventry, really good start to the season. And Norwich, a good team who have not started that bad themselves.
It pains me to say it, but I do fancy Coventry to just sneak it 2-1, if I'm honest. Home advantage.
Coventry 2-1. I'm loving this. Sean Deasy, I can vote for Bigfoot. His name's Harry all over, Sean. Use his name, but not for Josh. Not very inclusive. Well, if we were ever going to exclude anybody from this show, just saying.
He's too busy dyeing his hair to give us predictions anyway, so.
That's true. Yeah, he's lining up those deals. Now, Aaron's gone 3-2 Coventry. Paddy's gone 3-0 Coventry. And I can't remember now what I did there. 1-1, that's right. I've tipped a 1-1 draw. I'm actually tipping Norwich to go there and actually do well and try and shut this game down.
Yeah, they're quite capable. They are quite capable. And with Josh Sargent, they've always got a chance. So
Yep, absolutely. So, and then we get on to the last game of the round, which is local derby, Southampton v Portsmouth. This one is going to have some fire, I reckon. I'm looking forward to it. I've tipped a 1-1 draw. Let's have a look. I'll go through all the boys and then come to you. 2-0, Paddy's gone for Southampton. He likes them. And so has Aaron. Oh, my God, I didn't realise Aaron had done that. So they've both gone 2-0. What's your thoughts on this game?
One of my best mates he calls this the El Clasicoast because they're obviously both on the coast. It's a shocking one. But I fancy Southampton just to nick it 2-1. But I think it'll be a great game. I think this is live on TV for us over here as well. So
oh wow, okay,
yeah. I think it's the is it the early kickoff?
Yeah. I'll just quickly check for you. It is.
I have a sneaky feeling it's an early kickoff on either Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember which one.
Just getting there now. Yes, it is the early kickoff on the Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. Yeah, so that will be an interesting game.
Yeah, I think Portsmouth would have preferred to have the first derby at home early in the season rather than having to go to Southampton.
Mate, they're on to you. Elizabeth is on to you. If John finishes last, can he come out as a mascot for Wrexham and hold the hand of a player as he comes out in a Wrexham kit?
I'm not Peter Crouch. if that's where you've got that idea from.
and Chris that's great, Elizabeth. And Chris is saying the footy show has turned into the Blue People show. Yeah. Well, now we're going to get on to Birmingham news, but so yeah. Now I will remove this and I'll bring up this guy and let him get his tips in, and I'll reveal them after he's done them for you. He's done a pre-recorded. Here we go.
Been enjoying my paid time off during the transfer window, but I guess I still have to make my footy tips. So here we go. Let's start with Ipswich versus Sheffield United. I like Ipswich to win 1-0. Oxford 0, Leicester 2, Charlton 0, Millwall 1. I'll take Preston 1, Middlesbrough 2. Then I like Watford 1, Blackburn 2, Stoke 2, Birmingham City won. Then Wednesday 0 Bristol won and West Brom 2-1 over Derby County. I'll be back in a few with the rest.
I tell you, it's good work there. So, I think it's quite funny. It's quite funny. So I've got the first round of tips there from him, but I'll bring up the second round. It's this one, I think. Let's bring this in.
Final 4 picks. I'm going to start with Swansea 1, Hull City 0. Should a swan beat a tiger? I don't know, but swans are arseholes. Next, let's do Southampton 1, Portsmouth 0. Then I like Coventry 1, Norwich 0. That's a lot of 1-0s, isn't it? Oh well. So finally we have Wrexham and QPR. At the risk of losing my job, I'm going Wrexham 1, QPR 2. I think Wrexham need just a little more time to put it all together. Okay, back to fishing for me, and on that bombshell, I'll see you all soon.
Great bit of work, that. So great bit. But I'll tell you, I said it earlier, I did have some controversy. I think we found our new Wrexham hater. That's 2 weeks in a row. I'm pretty certain if I go in, he has tipped QPR 2-1. Last game, he tipped, where are we there? Where are we? Wrexham. It's gone. I'm having a blonde moment here. Oh, there we are. Yep. He did tip a 2-1 win to Millwall. So, 2 games in a row, he tipped against Wrexham. So I'm just thinking this guy's absolutely a Wrexham hater. That's all I'm saying.
Well, clearly. I mean, he's probably just, moaning because somebody stuck him on a lake in the middle of nowhere, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it looks like he's having a good time. I'm a bit jealous. But,
well, yeah, true.
Not that I like fishing, but that's a whole other story. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting. There'll be some upsets this weekend because teams will come out of this break, lost a bit of rhythm, just trying to get things going. Teams are going to come back and they're going to hit the ground hard, and trying to tip that is just impossible. That's what I found anyway.
Yeah, I think obviously before the international break, some teams will have caught a few teams on the hop a little bit. I think you'll find that a bit of normality might kind of come back after this international break. I think everyone will be a bit fitter after the 2 weeks as well. So I'm not sure we'll see sort of freak results, but I think it's like I said, I think the parachute teams will all start to look stronger after this international break. That you'll start to see the teams that are going to be down the bottom. I think you'll start to see the sort of, the patterns where teams don't pick up a lot of points week after week. So,
yeah. I'm liking George Williams here. He's trying to get away on a technicality here because we have a column that has result as the heading, and he's trying to tip result for the.
There's always one smart ass, isn't there?
Yeah, there's always one. Guys, in the comments, you have to pick the tipster that you think will win to win your prize. Bruce McFarlane won it last year. He got a Wrexham scarf signed. He also, I think the Wrexham scarf was signed, but he also got a tote bag. I got them from the Tour Down Under, and it was signed by, ironically, this is the funny bit, signed by Jay Rodriguez, who looks like he might retire, Andy Cannon, who's out injured until January, and Mo Farl, who's now playing for Port Vale.
So what you're saying is you guys are the kiss of death on like any Wrexham player's career here.
Well, say what you want, but I mean, they were signed with Wrexham at the time, and two of them, and well, actually, all of them still are. Technically, they're all still signed by Wrexham. Mo Farl's out on loan, and Andy Cannon and Jay Rodriguez are on the injured list. Now, here we go. Do we think Kabore will play in the QPR match? Did you want to comment on that, John? I have a strong opinion on this.
When does he get back from international duty?
Well, that's just it. He's playing in this match against this latest match. I'm assuming that match took place yesterday or today. As long as if he's not injured in any way, I absolutely think he'll play.
Possibly. I mean, you don't. Let's face it. You don't come in on loan from Man City if if you don't have ambitions of playing. So,
Yeah.
maybe the first game might be a bit soon. Maybe Parky uses the international game as a bit of an excuse of, we got back late, blah blah blah, not a lot of training, so be on the bench. But he clearly come into play first team football, hasn't he? So
the one I think will start straight up, and a lot of people have got the whole all Max Cleworth love and everything like that, but I think Hyam is coming straight onto the field. Played every minute of the championship last year, every minute of every game. 50 games straight. He's literally, that guy's just built to play.
Yeah, you don't sign players of that caliber to sit them on the bench unless you've got equally or better players. And, without wanting to sound harsh, Max isn't as good as Hyam. So, no. The only thing that might change it is if Parky thinks the chemistry of too many changes to the defence too quickly or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. But you're at home against QPR. So without wanting to sound bad against QPR, are you going to get a better chance to bed in new players at home against a side which, they're a side you would have at the start of the season as saying, do you know what, that's a game we would target to get 3 points at home. So
100%. We should be going for the 3 points this weekend. And Sean Deasy, you are 100% right. Harry all over is a terrible meat puppet. I agree. Like the guy got no idea what he's talking about. Now, I was pretty vocal. I said that the Elliot Lee was the next one on the chopping block for getting shipped on. I thought he was like, if Danny Ward hadn't got injured, and we needed to have 3 keepers on the roster, I actually think Elliot Lee was gone, in my opinion. But it didn't happen. He's been signed to the 25 squad list. So now he's got till January to prove his worth for Wrexham. So, good luck to him. I hope he does it. But, that's literally the reality for players like that. What do you think? What do you think about that sort of as a comment, or what do you think of my thoughts on that, John?
I think probably saying he's got till January to prove he's, shall we say, got a place for the rest of the season is probably being a bit optimistic. I think he's a squad player, which will be used very rarely. And I think he probably realises that. He probably isn't stupid. With the amount of signings you've made, he just isn't going to get a sniff unless you get injuries and stuff, which is why he's there as a squad player. I think, obviously, come January, it'll probably be, if you go again and sign some more, then I think he'll be one of the first ones out the door. And plus, also, you get to January, and if he's not played really any football between now and January, he'll probably want to go and play some football. He's not going to want to kick his heels on the sideline for an entire season, is he? I wouldn't have thought.
I wouldn't want to as a player.
No. I mean, how old is he? Is he?
Good question. I'd have to look that up.
So I don't know if he's like early 30s or late 20s or.
Yeah.
But you would imagine a player, he isn't getting any younger, is he?
No, 30 years old. 30 years, 180 centimeters. I think that's a bit of a stretch. I'd be surprised if he's 180. Like that's he doesn't look that tall, but anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I think he'll be like I said, he'll be in and around as a squad player, and then come January, it wouldn't surprise me to see him go on loan to a League One club where he'll play some football, and then he'll be essentially playing for a contract somewhere else. He'll be playing for his future to get a decent move.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think and there's going to be players like that in our squad. Like even young guy like Harry Ashfield now is not going to get a lot of minutes. What's going to be best for him? Is it best to hang around and learn off these guys and get some occasional minutes, especially right now while the Carabao Cup's still on and we're still in that. I think that's fine. After that cup's over, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that is the problem with the Championship. You don't have the Virtue Cup, so you don't have a bunch load of extra fixtures to keep, shall we say, squad players happy or fit even. Yeah. And yes, the Championship is a brutal league, but the pressure to succeed is so high that managers don't tend to rotate heavily because it's like the true essence is you want your strongest players on the pitch at all times. So, most of them, if they're fit enough, they're going to start. So, if you're sort of a third, fourth choice midfielder, for example, you're going to find your sort of chances very limited.
Yeah. Well, mate, you've got your first fan. George Williams has tipped you to win the Footie Tips.
Fair play, George. Man of intelligence. Or blind.
Enough said on that. I'm going to leave that one right where it is. I'm just like, okay. I'm just thinking silence is the best response.
Yeah, I think I'm joint last at the moment, so
Well, you're actually top of the table.
Oh yeah, everyone's back. Yeah. Well, that's why that's why I lulled everyone into a false sense of security with my first couple of picks. Clearly, so sounded good.
Yeah. Elizabeth, I'm 100% with you on Ashfield. I think he should be hanging around, learning off these players. I think that if we can get into games like, say, possibly this weekend, you get up, if you could have a banger and get to 3-0 in the 65th minute or something like that, that's when you bring a player like that on. Yeah.
Yeah, the only issue I would have with Ashfield is I don't see where he fits in to your side, if you know what I mean.
I think he's a broadhead / Windass type player.
Yeah, I think that's the problem in the matter of sense that I think the only real position is the 10 role, which I don't think Broadhead is a 10 either, if I'm honest. I think Windass is a natural 10. And I think is Windass back for this weekend?
Well, the rumor is possibly. We don't know. Like there was an article in the Leader around getting players back from injury, including Thomason, which would be great to see him get his start, just to see what we've got. I mean, because from what I watched of him at Bolton last year, he's good, but is he championship good? Well, only time's going to tell. So
yeah, I think the problem for Ashfield is if Broadhead and Windass are fit, he's going to struggle to get minutes. Because you're not going to play 2 10s realistically. So it's like, well, if Windass plays and then his Broadhead comes on, where does Ashfield fit in? He's going to need one of them to be injured. Is the honest answer.
Yes.
Which it's a long season, and Windass's injury record isn't the best. So yes, he may get chances. So and then it'll be up to him to take those chances. That'll be the thing that Parky lays down to and says, when you get your opportunity as a young player, you've got to grasp it with both hands.
Yeah, grab it with both hands. Exactly, took the words right out of my mouth. Yep. Well, I mean, let's face it. Let's get on to it then, Chris. John, how's Birmingham going?
Yeah, good. Yeah. A solid start. Played 2 parachute teams. Should have beaten 1. I would say probably deserved to lose to Leicester, to be honest. But and we missed Stansfield in that. But no, I think I'm very pleased with the squad, how it looks at the end of the transfer window. I think Patrick Roberts is a very, very good signing for us. I did start to worry that we had Damari Gray as our left winger, and we were very lopsided. So we only seen, we had Pace and Tricky on the left side, but we didn't have equally anything on the right side. So teams kind of figured that out. So they doubled up on Damari Gray, and there was no threat from the right side. But having Patrick Roberts on one side and Damari Gray on the other, that's going to give us some serious attacking threat out wide, pace and trickery. And I think the big one for us is Marvin Dutch, we got in from Germany. He got injured mid pre-season, so he apparently is now fully fit. He did make he came off the bench in a couple of games before the international break, and you could tell he didn't look fit. But yeah, apparently he's had 2 weeks solid training. He's completely over his injury, so it'll be interesting to see what he adds to the side, because if he's anything like his record and his pedigree suggests, he should be too good for this league. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's face it. You've had a solid start to the season. A draw, 2 wins, and a loss, is nothing to sneeze at. You're only 1 point out of the playoff positions at the moment, early days. But, pretty good start, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's, I did look at the fixtures at the start of the season, and you kind of look where we had Ipswich, Oxford, Blackburn, Stoke, then we've got Swansea. We've kind of got a bit of everyone, if you know what I mean. We've got some, parachute teams, mid-table teams, a couple of sort of teams you may think will struggle down the bottom. So it's kind of it's been a good barometer to see. I think the thing that surprised me is the way that teams have played against us. I thought Ipswich and Leicester especially. I expected them to sort of come toe to toe with us a little bit and let's say we're better than you, and sort of try and beat us for the ball and take it, not necessarily take us on, but control the game, control possession and all that. But both sides seem very, Ipswich seemed very standoffish and sort of, you can have the ball and break us down a little bit, and we've got, threats to a sort of counter attack you. And Leicester did the same, but the Leicester one was a bit of a, we gifted them a goal. It was a good finish, but we gifted them a goal in the first 8 minutes, I think it was. And you go 1-0 down against Leicester in the first 8 minutes at their place. It's a long way back. So there was a question of how much did they need to push onto us, or did they just sort of sit back and run the game out? So yeah. But no, I'm pleased. I was always a bit sort of, can we take how we played last season into the Championship? And the signs are, yeah, we can. So.
Yeah, that's fair. As I scroll through this table, obviously, you get down to the bottom half here, Norwich Moor, so it's a 6-6-5. We start getting the 4, obviously us on 4 points, Charlton on 4 points, tied with us, and then you get all the way to the bottom and you sort of see, obviously Sheff Wednesday and Sheff United, 1 point and no points, as well as Oxford only on 1 point. So I think we're starting to see Ipswich in 20th is sort of a surprise to me, but I'm certain that's going to change. It's just a matter of, I think, another 6 games, and we start to get that feel for the table, in my opinion.
Yeah, 10 to 12 games, you will kind of see. The Championship's bonkers. It's one of those leagues where you can win 5 on the spin and go from like 18th all the way up to the top 6. So you never rule anything out, but you do tend to get the groupings. And that's why I think this weekend is really interesting when you got Ipswich, Sheffield, both without a win so far this season. So, it's going to be one of those. One team's going to be in complete, desperation and be very depressed. Or they could both be, because if it ends a draw, both teams will be like, well, we still haven't won and we're 5 games into the season. So, yeah.
Are you going to your game on the weekend? Are you travelling to Stoke or not?
No. I'll be house renovating and trying to catch the game.
Fair call.
So it's But we've got a large contingent of fans going out there. We're selling out we've sold out nearly every away game. So and the tickets have just been.
Roughly, how many is it? How many tickets are?
I think we got just over 2,200 or something from Stoke. But I have to give Wrexham credit. They released the ticket details for our game against you guys, where I think it's 1,300 we've been given, and it's essentially, I think it's 25 quid a ticket, which without wanting to name names, but Coventry, the thieving gits, can take notice of this, because they've given us over, I think it's 3,000 odd tickets, and they're charging us 45 quid a ticket. So yeah. So
and do you think you'll sell them all at that price?
We already have. It's already sold out.
Okay, well there you go.
So but yeah, no, it's been a bit on social media. It's been a bit of I say banter, but it's been a bit tit for tat between the two fans, because a lot of people are saying it's
3,000. That's like 135,000 quid.
But yeah, it leaves a bit of a, it's one of those where they've just took advantage of a big away support, and it's Birmingham. You just kind of think, well, you guys were being threatened of being kicked out of the league not too many seasons ago, and we allowed you to play out of our stadium, so you didn't get thrown out of the league. And here you are basically charging us 45 quid a ticket just because we have a big fan base. Says a lot for me.
History, that history and that situation, that would not leave a nice taste in the Birmingham fans' mouths.
No, especially when we've historically in recent seasons when we've played Coventry away, they haven't done it before, and we've took big numbers before. It just seems to be the big bandwagon, the money behind us, and all the story and everything. It's like, oh, it's Birmingham, yeah, 45 quid a ticket. It's like, come on, lads, you know. But yeah, don't get me started on ticket pricing. So
I'll tell you what, though, you mentioned the allocation for the game with us. That is a game I'm really looking forward to. I think it's going to be a really good game, like us versus you guys at home for us. I think there's going to be a bit of feel in that, I reckon.
I don't know, actually. Sky, I mean, it's moved to the Friday. I do have reservations about the game because we both play. It's a 3-game week for both of us, and Sky, because they've moved it to the Friday night, hasn't helped either of us because we both play on the Saturday. We then both play on the Tuesday, and then we both play each other on the Friday. You've got Leicester away on the Tuesday night, which is not a very nice trip to have before you've got to play us on the Friday, whereas we're at home against Sheffield Wednesday. So
a away trip for you to Wrexham is not far.
No, it isn't. It isn't. It's where the squad comes into it, where obviously we've both got big squads. But I just think, obviously, Sky TV will big it up as the fixture. I'm just not sure it will have this. It won't have the same feel as it did last season because we're not first and second, and we're not both going for automatic promotion in that regard, are we? So I think there's less on the game, shall we say? Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting game, but yeah. I'm a bit more blasé about it.
Fair enough.
Without wanting to sound harsh,
no, fair enough. I mean, for me, it's just both teams got promoted last season with auto promotion. You guys were the club of the league last year for League One, and I just feel like with that, you know, it's a good story, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I mean, there's other games I'm looking forward to more, but this one is the one that for us at home, the first time we play this season, and I think it'll be really good to watch.
Yeah, I just I get a bit fed up with all the sort of, you know, the media hype around it, where it's kind of like, yeah, last season I could understand it because it was both teams gunning for promotion. I just know this time round a lot will get made out of it, and I'll be sat there going, you know, we're both probably going to be sat between sort of 7th and 13th. It'll be like, you know, come on guys, it's not first v second here. Don't make a big deal out of it. But
yeah, fair call. It's a mid-table battle.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna say it, but that's just me. I'm just a miserable old football fan. So
miserable for me, git, as my friends.
Yeah, exactly that. So
Elizabeth Jones, if I had to give you that tip today, I'm going 3-1 Wrexham. So there you go. If I had to give it to you today,
here's one for you. I think, and everyone in the chat, if you were offered a point in that game, does everyone take it straight off?
Oh, that's a good question for the chat. Would you take 1 point against Birmingham at home?
If you could all say, like, we'll handshake on a 1-1 draw and everyone walks away with their reputation intact.
Interesting. That's a good question. Because, you know, like, what do you think? Okay, so I know Paddy's the stat guy. What's it going to take? Is it 2 points per game over 46 games, which is 92 points, which wasn't enough for Sheffield United to get auto promotion last year?
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I can't see us quite getting to 2 points a game. I'm going to be straight up and say that. Can I see us getting to 1.5 points a game? Maybe I can actually now. What about, I mean, what's your thoughts, John? So 1.5 points for us, that would be another 23, 69 points. Do you think, how do you think Birmingham will go early doors? What's your thoughts?
I think we'll pretty much be online for playoff. I think we'll sort of be online for the 74, 75.
75.
Yeah, around that. I don't see us being automatic. I think the table will show that we probably look like we're in auto, but we probably won't be in the hunt, if you know what I mean. I can see us finishing like fourth, third, somewhere along there, but not realistically being in that hunt for the top two. I think the parachute teams will probably stretch their legs a little bit, but yeah. But I will be interested about the one thing I will be interested about our game against each other will be the how Davis sort of. I have a sneaky feeling he'll be very keen to go there and win, because I think last season we hung on towards the end, and you guys deserved the point out of it without a shadow of a doubt. But I'll be brutally honest, you didn't see the best Birmingham. I mean, we didn't have our midfield at all that night. And I think in a few of the interviews afterwards, you could tell Davis was a little bit annoyed by the sort of, they took you all the way to the hilt, but it's like, yeah, but he kind of suggested, we weren't at full strength and all that. So it wouldn't surprise me if he wanted to, go out and prove a point, but it'll be interesting.
Yep. So interesting. For your question, Nick Donnellan, in a heartbeat, he'd take the point. Elizabeth Jones would take the point. Chris, I'm with Steve Barton. Didn't you all hear? We're about to go on a 10-game win streak. That was Steve Barton's prediction. There's only 9 more to go. Only 9 more to go, Chris. Which means if it is a 10-game winning streak, John, that means we're beating Birmingham on that day.
Yeah, hate to break the news to you, but 10-game winning streaks don't happen in this league.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it gets to 5, you win.
But yeah, I'll be honest, I'm probably the same. If you offered me a point away at Wrexham now, probably take it.
Take it.
But then it depends on the previous results, doesn't it? I mean, we both play midweek. So if we win at home against Sheffield Wednesday, probably take the point away from home.
If you said to me at the start of the season, every away game you'll take a point, I'd say lock it in. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
I'd take those 23 points and then back my team at home.
Yeah. It's always been the sort of traditional line of promotion from the Championship. It's win your home games, draw your away games. Simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sounds simple. Doing it is completely different, though, of course.
Yep. Actually, Sean DZ, that is the already locked in winner for Fan of the Year. It would have to be Steve Barton. Someone would have to go crazy. He's a massive supporter of the channel. We really appreciate it. He backed down on that and said 10 wins before December. 10 wins before December. Well, that's out of 20. Well, it's basically 23 games for before December or before the end of December, because the end of December gets you halfway through the season.
Yeah, I can say it's usually just around just before Christmas. It's halfway, isn't it?
There, yeah, halfway. So there it is. Nick says end of December. Okay, so that would be halfway through the season. You'd had 10 wins. Let's say you'd had 7 draws and 6 losses. That's 37 points. Yeah, I'd probably take that.
It's a solid start.
It's halfway to playoffs, really, isn't it? Right there. It's right on the cusp. 74 points.
You'd need a little, possibly. I think you'd need a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Points are harder to pick up at the back end of this season usually. So
fair call. Although Wrexham has historically finished off every season very strongly.
Yeah, in Mickey Mouse leagues.
Finishing, you can only play who you can play.
This is true. But yeah.
Well, here we go. John, your thoughts on Kyogo so far?
I won't lie. I've been a little bit disappointed. I think his movement is exceptional. His movement off the ball is a Premier League top class forward. Finishing wise, he probably should have about 5 goals by now. And I think when you're brought in and your main attribute is to score goals, he's not been brought in because he's a silky link player or anything like that. He was brought in because he's a goal scorer. So I would say I've been a little disappointed in some of the finishing. Won't lie, but I'm not going to sort of discard him straight away because he's too good of a player. So he's one of those where you just feel if he gets one or gets a couple, he could go on a run. But I think the interesting one is I'm not fully convinced he starts every week for us. That's the thing. I think with Duke.
And should he start every week? Like Davey, shouldn't he just rotate some players and give him some time?
Yeah, possibly. I think the thing is with Davis, we need to figure out what he wants to do with Stansfield. Obviously, last season Stansfield played the 9 role for the majority, so it kind of kicked May out of that position. Kyogo's not. I suppose Kyogo's a little bit like May. He is a 9. He's not really anything else. So it's kind of like, well, he either plays in the 9 or he's on the bench. So it kind of depends what he wants to do with Stansfield. I kind of thought what he might do is play Kyogo up front, play Dooch in the 10, and move Stansfield wide left, which is where Stansfield actually does look very dangerous wide left. But now he's brought in Patrick Roberts and he's got Damari Gray. It's kind of like, well, the wide players have kind of that they feel themselves now. So now he does have the dilemma of what he'll do. I mean, I think on Saturday, I think he will play Kyogo and Stansfield. But I think it won't be long till Dutch finds his way into that side. And I think Kyogo will be the guy that gets dropped to the bench. And I think Stansfield starts in the 9 for me.
Yeah, fair enough. So I was thinking about this while you're telling me that, and I've come up with a good question. And I'll ask you the question for Birmingham, and I'll answer the question myself for Wrexham. But we'll start with you. Who do you think is going to be your top goal scorer this year? And who do you think is going to be your best player? Are they going to be the same person, or is it going to be somebody different that you think will be your best player?
Stansfield will be the top goal scorer. I won't lie. He scored 12 goals in this league before in an absolutely horrendous team. So if he doesn't get near the 20 mark, I'll be surprised. And I just think he'll play more minutes than the rest. So best player, that's a really good question. I don't think it'll be Stansfield, if I'm honest. It would not surprise me if it's Clara again, because he was our player of the season last season because he was just a Rolls Royce in the division, and he kind of looked the same again this season. Even against Ipswich, he kind of dealt with everything quite comfortably. So it wouldn't surprise me. So, but yeah, honourable shout to Tommy Doyle because, you know, if he plays week in, week out, he could easily be the best midfielder in the division, to be honest. So,
Okay. Well, I think Kiefer Moore is going to be our top goal scorer just because of the style of football we play, and he's just going to be Johnny on the spot enough times to bag enough goals to outscore everybody else, in my opinion. For best player for Wrexham this season, my hope is it's going to be Ben Sheaf, because if he stays fit and supplies the quality that I think he can, that will turn us into definitely a playoff contender. So that's my hope of best player. Who do I think is going to be best player? It's a really tough one because it's pretty even across the park for our squad. You know, probably if he stays fit, I'd say it's going to be Windass.
Yeah, could see that. Lewis O'Brien would be a good shout from me.
Oh yeah, he'd be a great shout. Yeah, he would be a great shout. Like
it's like I say with Clara. I have a similar. My concern with Clara, and I think my concern would be if Sheaf was your player of the season, would be your attacking players haven't performed. If you know what I mean.
Well, my thought around that was his delivery for assists, his delivery to a player that then supplies the assist. You know, if he controls it and just dominates that part of the midfield, it would mean that everybody else forward, like players like Sheaf, make other players better. Yes.
Yeah. That's the problem with those type of players. They never get the accolades unless you're Rodri, of course, because they allow others to play better around them. But that's what I mean with like Lewis O'Brien. It's I dare say if Sheaf has a brilliant season, Lewis O'Brien will look absolute quality because he'll have the room and the time to do what he does.
I think it's a really good point. That means he would be getting the plaudits. Yeah, and yeah, you're right. Because I mean, like, you know, you give O'Brien time and space on the ball. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's similar to us where, you know, Davis used to all last season would rave about Iwata in midfield where, you know, he wouldn't, he scored a few belters, yes, but most weeks his work would go unnoticed. He was just the steady linchpin at the back where he'd keep possession, but he just allowed the rest of the team to play. And unfortunately, those sort of players, like I said, unless you're Rodri, they don't tend to get those accolades, do they? Sadly.
No, that's right. And Elizabeth is saying she really likes what she's seen from O'Brien so far. I agree with you, Elizabeth. Yeah, he has looked quality. You know, some people have mentioned they didn't think he looked so great in defence, but to be fair, it's not really his role.
No, he's not that sort of player, to be honest. He's a proper, what I would call an old-fashioned 8. You know, where he'll be in midfield and he'll push forward. If he's going the other way towards your defence and having to track back, that's not his game. You know, that's
you've got problems in that match if that's the case.
Yeah, you're obviously being overrun if he's having to sort of flood back and that. No, he's a quality operator. Always has been, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's it is fun. I mean, look, super excited to get back into this weekend. Just get back into football. You'll be excited to stop doing the renovations, won't you?
Mate, it's going to be a few years yet.
Okay.
Yeah, ongoing project is the way it's described.
Lifelong project. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think. Are you at 4 games in? Are you happy or unhappy with how Birmingham have gone?
I've got to say happy. You know, it's we've always, for the last 12 years we struggled at this level, so to be one of the favoured sides and have the squad we have and to start well, you know, we've picked up 7 points. I can't complain. Yes, we could have beaten Ipswich, could have easily drawn against Blackburn, so you know, it swings and roundabouts. Yeah, next couple of games I think will be good tells. You know, Stoke away, Swansea at home. You know, if we can get 4 points out of those 2 games, I wouldn't be too disheartened. We're quite capable of winning both. But equally, in this league, you could lose both and not deserve to lose. So that's the Championship. So, but no, overall, yeah, happy.
Yep. Are you guys still in the Carabao Cup?
No. We've gotten knocked out by Port Vale.
Okay, right.
We did exactly what I wanted us to do. We made 10 changes and got knocked out early. So, yeah, the only downside to that was he brought Stansfield on in the second half and he got nobbled, which is why he missed the Leicester game. Which I was sat.
Sounds a really bad result.
I was sat there. Davis got called every name under the sun by me because I was just sat there in an absolute nothing game. Why do you bring on not your talisman, but you know, a player that if he's fit, he starts? What, you know, why risk him? You know, in a game where you're not going to win the Carabao Cup. And I know people say, "Oh, you might get a Premier League." I don't care. You know, get out of it. Don't want it. Concentrate on the league.
Fair enough. I mean, and it's funny you say that because I am of that opinion. Like, I'd love us to beat Reading and then draw a Prem team. Yeah, just for that, because we haven't had that experience in such a long time. That's really the only reason. Once we've done it once, am I going to want it again? Not so much. Like, I want to be a Prem team. I don't want to play a Prem team.
It's one of those. It's one of those situations where it sounds better than actually it really is, because like you draw a Prem team, you're like, yeah, we've got a Prem team, and then you basically play their reserves. And you kind of go, and then you kind of go, oh, well, okay, yeah, would have liked to have played the first team, but we're playing their reserves. We've got a chance. And then they just run rings round you, and you just realise within 5 minutes that you have got not a prayer of getting anywhere near their under 21s, basically. And it's quite depressing because you for your own eyes in front of you, you see the gulf between the leagues, and it's not nice, to be honest.
Yeah, you come up against a second string team that comes out and just says, you guys are nothing to us.
Yeah, they just like they keep the ball for 20 minutes and you kind of go, oh, this is fun, you know. So but yeah, like you said, you know, a good. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've had brilliant in years gone by. We've had cup runs and we've played Premier League side and not Premier League sides out. And you know, you don't change those nights for anything. But unfortunately, they're few and far between. You know, for every 10 of those games, you might have a chance of winning like 1 if you're lucky. So. Yeah.
And Gene has mentioned here try to imagine O'Brien and Rathbone playing together, and I'm saying playing off sheet those two guys off Sheaf. So O'Brien on the left, Rathbone on the right, and all of a sudden, and then you have Kabore as your wing back on the right, and Kakache, who I don't think we've seen the best of, as our wing back on the left. And there's just attacking options across the entire width of the park.
I have a bit of a hot take on the Rathbone situation for you.
Okay.
I don't think he gets back into your team.
Ooh. Oh, you heard it here first.
Who does he play instead of?
Dobson.
Okay. So you think you'll still play 3 across midfield?
I don't actually. That's the thing, and that's where my argument falls down. I think we play a diamond, and I think we play more up front with Windass and O'Brien behind, with Sheaf and someone behind there. And to me, I'm not too sure, because then you have Broadhead, then you have Thomason, who we haven't seen yet. All these guys. So your argument about Rathbone not getting back in has merit.
Is it against a Leicester and Ipswich, those sort of teams? Yes, I could see like a Sheaf, Rathbone, O'Brien midfield 3, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
I think against pretty much everyone else, I think you have a sort of combination of an O'Brien and a Sheaf in there, and I don't think you need a Rathbone in there, because you've got the quality that you would say you've got enough, or you would like to think you've got enough in there that you don't need that extra body, and then you can put an extra attacker.
I love the fact that we can have this conversation, that our squad has enough quality now that we can have this conversation. Because we couldn't do this 6 months ago.
No,
this conversation wasn't possible.
Yeah. Well, again, say it's mad in the league, isn't it? Because he was one of your best players last year. If you go back a season, you say, well, next season Rathbone will struggle to get in your side, you would have just laughed and go, don't be stupid.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you spend £33 million.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same with us. We've got the same dilemma where we've got Iwata and Paik. Everyone sort of said, last season, well, those two, as long as they've got a pulse, they play. Realistically, one of them's going to have to be dropped for Doyle, because Doyle plays the same. And it's like, you sit there and go, well, he's too good of a player to sit on your bench, so he's got to play. So one of them's going to have to drop out. So Matt
Al has just got back from the ballots and got a battering. He only got 1 out of 5 from the ballot for tickets, obviously. So that's interesting. And nephew has none from 7. Wow, Mahat Al. He's not having a good run at all. So yeah, it's interesting. Well, see, that's the problem with our stadium at the moment, is there's not enough space, and then getting away tickets, the popularity of the club, all of this, that's what's going on at the moment.
Same with us. It's just mental. Somebody said to me, beginning of the League One season, or the summer of the League One season, they asked me, they said, "Oh, are you renewing your ticket?" And I said, "Well, done 30 years, so yeah, probably, because we're glutton for punishment by now. If we were going to give up, would have done it a long time ago." But they were sort of saying, they said, "Oh, it's if you don't renew now, you probably won't get a season ticket if you're trying to get a new season ticket till we move to the new stadium." And I remember being told that at the time, and thinking, "You're off your rocker, mate. What you on about?" But yeah, we've got over 20,000 on the waiting list for season tickets, and we've got 21,000 season tickets this season. So yeah, it's just mad. And away tickets, you've got to be like platinum member to basically get tickets, because they just disappear. We took 7,000 or whatever it was to bloody Blackburn. It's just mad.
As a fan, it's frustrating, but as a club, it shows the strength of the following of the club, which is a good thing for the size of your stadium. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see, because the COP is going to start coming out of the ground probably next month. There's stuff happening already for us with that, but we're going to start to see the actual development when you start to see physical things happening that aren't background infrastructure things like the substation and whatnot. When that's another 7,500 seats to come in, but the demand for those will just get snapped up immediately and be like, what's next?
It's a shame for you guys, because having watched a couple of your games on TV this season, the atmosphere has definitely been affected by it. But with the lack of the stand and stuff, obviously people who are actually in the stadium will know better. But it certainly feels a bit flatter in that regard.
Well, because you don't have that Coliseum.
Yeah,
and disappears out. Yeah, you're right. But I mean, it's going to be very exciting to watch that stadium go up. I can't wait to watch it happen. Because it will be a lot more rapid than what people think. The way that current construction systems work, prefab concrete, big blocks go up in one hit. It's going to happen very quickly.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like our stadium that they're talking about it being sort of completed by 2029, which you just kind of think, okay, you're going to build a 62,000 seater stadium in a sports complex by 2020. Just to me as just a simple IT guy, that's like, okay, believe it when I see it.
Whoa! That's a bit unfair. I mean, don't get me wrong, Steve. Thank you so much for the super chat. But what do you think? Hair plugs for both of us.
Can I just point out there's no hair dye here
or here?
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah,
don't want to name any names or anything, but
no, don't want to get there, Steve. Thank you so much for that. But let's. There you go. Matt L saying it's a flat atmosphere. I'll call it. Steve
I've heard that saying before. It's a good one.
Yeah. Steve Button, thank you so much for the chat. I mean, there's some other guy here saying hair dye rules. Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, mate. You got to do what you got to do.
Have you actually noticed it's gone from the complete extreme, denial of it, or to now just acceptance that actually the secret's out?
Yeah.
No point denying it. Everyone knows now.
Well, he was in the background on a show the other day. He still had the plastic glove on.
He forgot to take the glove off, did he?
Yeah, with the dye on it. I'm like, what's that, man? He goes, oh, no, nothing. And he sort of threw it away and hid it. Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting because, Steve, thank you so much. And don't forget, everybody, have to get in, put in your comment, in this comment, or after, if you're watching this later, not live, in the comments on YouTube, put in your name. It has to be in before the weekend, before the game starts, before Ipswich v Sheffield United. You have to have your choice in. And at the moment, George Williams is going to win because he's the only one that's picked somebody.
So, I'm just laughing at Mad Al's last comment.
Yeah. He'll be drawing an effing drum if I get a ticket every game. So he's saying, I will be your number one fan. I will run the supporters. And I've just got this terrible image of Mad Al with a drum.
All I can say is any fan base that has a drum in their stadium, I can't take serious. Sorry.
I love this. Steve Barton has gifted 1 membership. Thank you, Steve. I really appreciate it. Now, Donna W, how do you get one of Steve's memberships? It is pure luck of the draw, Donna W. But I'm telling you, to be a member is like $3 a month. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's not even a cup of coffee a month. So get in there, become a member, because you will get members only shows. And then he's backed it up. Steve Barton's backed it up with 10. You're an absolute legend, Steve. So anyone that does get a membership, make sure you thank Steve. Donna W, you are an absolute chance now because there's only 42 people in here and most of them are members. So you are a massive chance of getting a membership gift, but hang on to it. Once you get it, go in and spend that $3 a month because it's totally worth it. You get to spend quality time with all the other people. And then on occasions, you get John and I. And there you go. Let's go. And Reliable Express just got one. Wayne Evans, 43 now. There you go. He's in here. There, he's made it. So he's in Australia. But, mate, I think we're just about done for the day. I think we're there, aren't we?
I think so.
Yeah. So I will go back through these. Obviously, Steve Barton, gifted 10 memberships. Before that, he gifted 1. Good on him. And more importantly, $20. Mate, I don't know. So what's that, $10 each for hair plugs?
I'm not sure it's going to go very far.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Might get a strand or something.
I might put it here. Yeah.
You should have seen me the other day. Not good.
Yep. So, I mean, look, guys, thanks very much for coming in. Don't forget, there's going to be obviously daily shows. The boys didn't do Champ Chat this week. It'll be back next week. We obviously have the games this weekend. I think Paddy's doing Ipswich v Sheffield United. I'm not certain on it, so don't hold me to it because I'm not too sure his schedule, but I think that's his plan. Then obviously we have the game day build-up, watch-along, post-game analysis, more stuff coming, more from John. We've got our tips in. The only guy that's missing his tips so far is that guy in South America. I don't know what he's doing right now. He's probably doing homework on Brazil. That's Victor, and we'll be doing our game day analysis. That's also coming up. So other than that, mate, any last words from you?
Thank God football is back this weekend.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to finish. On that bombshell, guys, we will see you all next time.